welcome back to the 30 Minutes of Fame podcast. Today I've got a couple of pretty talented guys here with a cool story, and I came across Rylan's page with some really cool music, and I said, "Dude, let's do a show." And then now we got the band's name is Harmon Dees. I'll put the link in the TikTok, but I've got Rylan and Danny here. Welcome to my show.
Thanks for having us, Dave.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
The thing I first noticed about your music and your sound, first of all, the thing that hooked me in first was the Spoon Man, that whole video, because
Yeah.
Chris Cornell and Soundgarden was like one of my favorite bands after I got out of the 80s hair band phase. But I got a
Yeah,
really,
that was,
really cool Chris Cornell story. So that one hit me, and then I'm like, wow, this dude's talented and he's got charisma. And like, fuck yeah, let's get them on.
thank you. Yeah, we have fun too. We like making joke videos as well. But yeah, I had that Spoon Man video idea for a while, but it was kind of silly, but glad I put it out there.
I'm gonna, just so people know what the hell I'm talking about here, I'm gonna edit in about 20 seconds of that into this video just so people can see it.
That's so funny.
Oh man.
No, I'm from Newfoundland, so I'm actually really good at playing the spoons. I've been playing guitar since I was 10, but I don't know what's my Irish blood in me, but Spoon Man, it's kind of a thing I get. But
That's amazing.
how long have you guys been playing together? How'd you get started, and where'd the band name come from?
So we started back in high school. We were in grade 10. We were 14 or 15. So I'm 31 now. Danny's 30. So it's been about half our lives now. Yeah, we met in high school, and at first we were just an acoustic duo, and it started as that. We were just playing acoustic songs and playing at the YMCA and stuff like that, and just community halls and stuff like that. And then Danny had to move to Argentina, and that kind of like really altered the course of the band. But actually, before we get into that, I'll talk about the band name. Yeah. So we used to have another band name before Harmonies, and we just didn't like it as much. We didn't feel like it suited us. And then there was this one couple weeks that me and Danny were just trying to come up with new names, and we were bouncing names back and forth. And he would text me, and I'd text him. And this one day, I was walking down the street from my friend's house, and I kept saying the word harmonies over and over again. I was like, harmonies, harmonies, harmonies. And then I realized it sounded like three words. And then I realized those two words were kind of opposites, and there's the harm and the ease. And I was like, that's pretty cool. So I texted Danny just harmonies question mark on my little flip phone. And he responded. He's like, I love it. And that's how it stuck. But yeah.
You know, it's kind of fitting. I have a lot of mental health guests on here, and sometimes your people's situation comes with some harm, and you just got to ease your way out of it. That's
Yeah, exactly.
It's the balance of life, I guess. It's like the whole duality and the whole like idea of good and bad, and like you can't really appreciate the good without the bad or the bad without the good. And, yeah.
so you guys are based out of, I know you're in Canada, but I don't remember where. I'm sorry.
We're in Toronto right now.
So your first show that you played together, what was that like? What was the
I
fun?
remember our first show
Was
actually.
it 24/7?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was at this like really we used to skateboard in high school, and there was this like church skateboard spot that you would like it was like a church where you could skateboard inside, and they would do shows on the weekends. So then I used to skate there all the time, and we got our first show there. We were probably like 15,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
I think I bombed pretty hard too. Didn't I mess
Yeah.
up on like two songs? I felt really embarrassed.
I think like when we like played a song in the middle of the song, you're like, I can't do the song, and then we like stopped. We've never done that ever again. We like stopped singing in the middle of the song.
Yeah.
You're like, I can't do this song.
Yeah. Well, I mean, in that sense, it was memorable. But yeah, that's the thing. We only were together in high school for like 2 years, and then Danny had to leave to Argentina. For he could explain it if he wants, but yeah, we ended up relocating to Argentina, and then we lived there for like 5 years and toured the country and made a couple albums. But yeah.
Yeah, that's like a long part of the story and a big part of the band story. But when I was 16, I was here under like refugee status. I'm from Colombia originally, and when I was about 16, like my family's case got amended, and my family had to move back to South America, which I grew up in Miami in the States and in Canada, so I never lived in South America other than just I've had stories from what happened to my family. So then when I was 16, I ended up moving to Argentina and having to like start my whole life again in the middle of high school when we had our band. And so Rye ended up moving to Buenos Aires, Argentina when we were like what, 18?
Yeah, almost 19.
Almost 19. And then we kind of had to like rethink how we were going to do this because I had to figure out how I was going to go back to Canada. And that took a lot longer than we thought. So we kind of had to make the best out of it. It's the whole harmonies thing. We kind of had to make the best out of a bad situation. And we ended up like forming a band. Like Harmonies was basically formed mostly in Argentina. And our first albums were recorded there. We toured all over the country. Um, but yeah, we were kind of always hoping to come back here. So it was always this like bittersweet thing. Like our band was getting some success there, but we were also like, we didn't want to really fully be there. We wanted to be here. But like the circumstances in life brought us there. And we were young as well. Like we were super young living there. We signed with Warner Brothers when we were like 19, 20.
Wow.
And we started like, we were on like TV shows and radio stations and all this stuff started happening. But yeah, it was weird. It was a whole era of our life that it was confusing because we weren't planning to stay there, but we
Yeah,
had to do our
and
best
that's
for
the thing.
it.
Yeah, when we started the band in high school, like there was no, we didn't think that was gonna be where we ended up, and that the night Danny had to leave, we all like some of our friends all met up, and me and Danny just before I left and went back home, and we had a little talk, and we was just like, we're gonna figure this out. No matter what, we're gonna try to make this work wherever you are, and still to this day, we kind of do that. You know, there's still all kinds of like things going on in the background that we're always working through, but despite it all, and we just try to write good music and create good art from it, and stay inspired by it.
I love it. What I love most about, well, all the clips I've watched on both your page and the band page is that it's just real and it's raw. And what do you guys think of all this AI crap? Like it's taken over. It's like anyone, I don't know. I hate it. Like I don't think I'm
It's
a
all
superstar or
over.
anything, but I'll take a song I wrote. I've written some pretty good music, I think, and I'll play it and put it on TikTok, and some of them have gotten like 30,000 views, and it's but then you hit the scroll button, all you hear is effects and auto tune and AI, and this guy, it's just I can't stand it.
I know, yeah, there's a lot going on right now with music. It's confusing. It's hard to tell like what's being made and what's like a computer and what's like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, it's a tool at the end of the day, and I think what separates like just like authentic musicians to an extent is like we're you could use AI and you can use like writing prompts or whatever it is, but at the end of the day, we're gonna go on stage and play our music the way we do it with a guitar and singing, and you can't really fake that.
No. So I noticed one post as well. You guys said you've opened up for some big names.
Yeah.
What's the most memorable of like someone that you loved listening to? All of a sudden you're opening up for them. What band is that for both of you?
Before I both say,
Yeah.
yeah. It was Jack White. We opened for Jack White this year,
Last
year
year.
at
It
Matthew
was probably
Hall.
like a year today or
Yeah, around
tomorrow.
this era, yeah.
Um,
That was pretty crazy just because we grew up listening to the White Stripes and
Nice.
Jack White in general, you know?
yeah, it was super inspiring. I mean, that was easily like one of the coolest nights of my life, and let alone just like it's super cool opening for Jack White. But Massey Hall is one of like the most historic venues in Toronto as well. So that was a big honor. But yeah, we've opened for Tom Cochran. We've opened for
The
the
Truth, Walk
Cruise,
Off the
Walk Off the
Earth,
Earth, Monster Truck back in the
Monster
day,
Truck, Big Wreck,
5440,
5440.
Wow.
There's more, man. I just can't remember.
Trooper.
Trooper.
Yeah, we met some cool people.
I'll tell you a funny story about Trooper. I used to live in a little town called Carbonear, Newfoundland, and the only bands we would ever get come to Newfoundland was Trooper, Our Lady Peace, and Tragically Hip, and like ABBA cover bands. So Trooper is playing this little bar with like 75 drunk Newfoundlanders in it, and they come out and are like, "We've played Wembley Stadium, we've played the Rose Bowl, but Carbonear, Newfoundland, you're the loudest fuckers ever." And I'm like,
I
"Come on!" And I
love it.
went crazy, but it was just Trooper in a little bar with 70 people. It was pretty cool.
That's
That's
awesome.
awesome.
You, Rylan, you told me that someone told you, which was funny because I said you kind of reminded me of the Black Crows a little bit, mixed with a bit of Jaybirds. Um, What's your most odd musical comparison you've gotten? Like, oh my God, you guys sound like whoever.
Um, Odd one. I mean, I often get compared to at least just me. I get compared to Ozzy Osbourne. I think that, and I kind of see it sometimes. And when I listen back to something, I'm like, oh, it's kind of I have a similar tone, or it's just this like nasally thing. But gosh, I don't know.
Like you've been getting Fall Out Boy
Yeah,
lately.
and that's something we don't try to sound like
Yeah,
necessarily.
so that's kind of
Yeah, there's a couple songs on the last album that are a little like theatrical and a little pop punky in a sense. But I don't know. Gosh, like I get Jack Black every once in a while because I kind of, like when I perform, I do kind of this like over the top theatrical thing sometimes, and he's definitely a little bit he milks that. So I've gotten that, but nothing too like off.
Yeah, nothing too.
Where I'm like, nah, I don't hear that or see that. Um, just visually, people are like, you look like a Beatle. That happens all the time.
So you just hit a pretty big milestone recently. 15 months sober.
Yeah.
Congrats on that. Where did that
Yeah,
come
15
from?
months alcohol free. I for most of my alcohol free journey, I was still smoking pot, but like 2 months ago, I stopped smoking pot. So yeah, I'm pretty well sober now. But yeah, alcohol was just one of my biggest problems for a long time, and yeah, and I just started drinking at a young age, and I was always just kind of a like shy, awkward kid, and in my head, and I the first time I got drunk, I was like, everything changed. I was like, I can talk to people. I'm cool. Like, and it just kind of like changed my world overnight, and it became something that I just leaned on and felt like it made me a cooler person. It made me more social. It made things easier, um, and then just for most of my 20s, it was just like we were in Argentina, so we just stay up late all the time and play just crazy clubs sometimes. And it's when you're a musician, it's there for you. It's like it's hand in hand sometimes. And sometimes we play shows and we wouldn't even get paid. It was just like here's a drink ticket. So it was at first it was a thing that I didn't think was like so consuming me, and then as I got older and older, it just like I felt like I couldn't do anything without it. And I always had a bit of like depression and anxiety. And then just as the years went on and on, it got worse and worse and worse. And I was always trying to self-medicate with it. And that's just a vicious circle because you feel anxious and so you drink some more. And then the next day it's 2 times worse. And um, sometimes, you know, the booze would lead to like worse drugs like cocaine and stuff like that. And it was wrecking my mental health and a lot of my relationships in my life with the guys in the band, my girlfriend, my parents. It was on the rocks, and I just wasn't fully present, and I was just angry and just problematic. And last November, or yeah, it was at the beginning of last November. I decided like I'm gonna try to quit for 1 month. That was like my goal originally, and I chose November because I had some friends doing like sober October. And I remember like asking them like, "What are you doing sober October?" Like it's still a fun month. Like, why would you want to get sober in October? You got Halloween. The weather's still kind of nice. So I kept just joking about like you should do it in November if you're gonna. And then November came around, and we had a show on the November 1st at a bar here in Toronto, and I got drunk that night. Like I probably got really drunk that night, but I didn't do anything like super embarrassing. But I woke up the next day just feeling super low, like I'd been feeling for a long time, and just um, I just felt I knew that day I wasn't gonna drink because I was kind of hungover, and I as that day went on, I kept thinking about it. I'm like, yeah, man, this is probably a good time to try or just get a hold of it. And then so November 2nd, I decided I'm like, okay, this I'm not gonna drink for this month. And then that first month was pretty tough for sure, but I made it like I thought I was going to stop at the end of the month or start drinking again. And then I made it to the end of the month, and I noticed like my anxiety was a lot better, like not healed by any means, but if it was like up here, it was like down here. And that made me excited. So I just wanted to stick with it. But then it was like, oh, I'll probably have a drink at Christmas and then I get to Christmas and I wouldn't. And then my birthday, and then I'm like, oh, maybe when I'm in Mexico, I'll have a margarita. And I would just get to these like landmark moments. And I just had the right mind to stick with it because I really started seeing the benefits, and I started feeling like myself again, and it was inspiring. So here I am,
So
still at
what
it.
what's the biggest difference you notice from playing a show sober versus drunk out of your mind?
I'm less sloppy for sure. My memory's better. I don't feel like I mess up lyrics as much anymore. Um, it took a couple shows to kind of get that confidence though, because at first I thought I wouldn't be a social, and I just wouldn't. I always use it as like that liquid confidence kind of thing, and but actually our first show back was that Jack White show, so I was so goddamn nervous. But we played that show, and it was like, if I can do this sober, I can pretty much do anything. So
Crazy. That was the first one.
yeah, that was the first one. And then yeah, there were some bigger shows throughout the year, and then this summer we had some big shows. We opened for Big Rec like 3 times on different occasions, and yeah, each time I was sober, um and yeah, I just like I just feel way more present, and I've lost a lot of weight since then too, so I just feel like just more comfortable with my body on stage, and yeah, if anything, yeah, it's made everything better.
Beautiful. Now, Danny, we mentioned before we started the show here, you've dropped over 70 pounds as well. What's that like for you?
Yeah, no, I was like on my own, like as much as like Rye's saying, like I was also I've always been kind of like a bigger dude, but in those years, like the early 20s, we were living in Argentina, kind of reckless, and yeah, my form of escapism, I guess, has been like eating a lot, and about 2 years ago, a little over 2 years ago, my dad passed away. He had a heart attack, and my dad had diabetes and stuff. And at that, I remember just like being at like my worst physically when I got back, because I stayed in Argentina for 3 months, and I came back to Canada, and I was just like feeling really out of breath, like just like walking around. And I was like, okay, no, I need to do something about this. And I started working out, and I started going to the gym, and that's been like a huge life-changing thing for me. It's helped me in so many ways, and I feel like it's inspired a lot of people around me and
Mhm.
stuff, and like it's been good for all of us. But yeah, I was kind of like in a place where I just wasn't feeling good mentally. And yeah, I also like, you find your vices and stuff. But yeah, food's always been one for me, and I was just eating really unhealthy, feeling really bad, like not like physically, just feeling horribly like all the time, and not like thinking about it too much, as being like, whatever, like I've always felt horrible, so it's okay. But then making that change and like start working out every day, eating healthy, and same thing, like how many things changed in my life, from like my friendships and my connections to like my energy, my work, my performing on stage, my music, like my confidence. Like it's helped me in so many ways, and it's helped me like also my brain feels clear, so I can also like do things, other things that I was like maybe not taking care of, I'm starting to take care of more and stuff. So that was like a big first step of like just being more self-aware, taking care of yourself. And yeah, it's been really good for me. And yeah, like ride too, like we kind of started working out around the same time. Like you were running a lot.
Yeah.
You started running a lot way before even I was working out. um and yeah, it's good because we all like live together, right? So it's cool when you see someone like trying to be better for themselves, and then it inspires you to be like, like I want to be better for myself. And yeah, so that's that. Yeah, it's been really good for me, and I feel like we both like look like we're like younger
Yeah,
again,
for
and
sure.
we're
I,
in a way
I mean,
better
I
place.
feel younger too.
That's amazing. I usually have music episodes, recovery episodes, weight loss episodes. I got everything all in one here.
You have all of it in one.
I'm gonna stretch this out over three, but yeah, I'd love to hear you guys play a couple tunes.
Yeah.
If I need to pause it here to fix that setting I forgot to change, we can do that real quick. But
We're
just
going
strum your
first.
guitar like 10 times and let me know if I can hear it. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna pause here.
Can you hear it?
No, just 1 second.
All right, we're gonna play a couple. All right, we're gonna play a couple songs off our new album Afterlife, which dropped last October, and yeah, this first one's called Wishing Well. I don't wanna know how everything will end. I don't think we're close, but it's never in my hand. She's a pretty girl, na 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 na. your head. Everybody's late for heaven, 'cause everybody goes through hell. Honey, I can be your heathen. Throw me down the wishing well. Trying like a side of Eden, spinning like a carousel. I got something I believe in. Throw me down the wishing well. I wish you well. And I can't stay afloat. I can't hear a sound. Can you throw a rope down the wishing well? Everybody's late for heaven, 'cause everybody goes through hell. Honey, I could be your Ethan. Throw me down the wishing well. Trying like a side of Eden, spinning like a carousel. I got something I believe in. Throw me down the wishing well. I wish you well. Shoot, my voice is a little rough right now. We just had band practice like 2 hours ago.
Oh man, that sounded freaking awesome.
Thank you. Yeah, the course is a little rough.
I always hide myself when people are playing on here because nobody wants to see me dancing around the shit. So I'm saving that for my O if I ever start one. Though. Just kidding.
Don't you want more?
Yeah, you want another?
Yeah, let's do one more. I'll mute up again and freaking awesome.
What song?
You want to do Get Older?
Yeah.
I used to be close-minded, stubbornly refused to see past my horizon, till I found you, and you inspired me to have a dream I could believe in entirely. Love comes, love leaves, who knows what it means? I know is that I know it's guaranteed. That love comes and love leaves, who knows what it means? All I know is that I know I keep changing as I grow. I'm getting older. I'm getting older, getting older. If I could freeze, frame a moment, I'd choose a scene when you and me were interwoven. We would laugh, and we would sing, we would dance, and we would talk about anything. Love comes, love leaves, who knows what it means? All I know is that I know it's guaranteed. That love comes and love leaves, who knows what it means? All I know is that I know I keep changing as I grow. I'm getting older. I'm getting older. Getting older. Love comes, love leaves, who knows what it means? All I know is that I know it's guaranteed. That love comes and love leaves, who knows what it means? All I know is that I know I keep changing as I grow. I'm getting older.
Wow. Freak, man, I got some homework for you, dude. I don't know if you know the band the Jayhawks. One of my favorite songs of all time by them is called Where Have All My Friends Gone? And it's kind of when I quit drinking 3 years ago, I had a pretty close circle of karaoke friends, and most of them disappeared when I got sober. So that song kind of hits me. Where have all my friends gone? They've all disappeared. Because all of a sudden I don't get drunk anymore. I'm not the fun guy to hang out, but It's like a self-cleaning cat litter for me. But if you could learn that song by the Jayhawks and post that on your
Sure.
TikTok.
Send it over.
Yeah. I'll check it out. I think I've heard the Jayhawks. I don't know them well though, but I will definitely check them out for you.
Yeah, one of my favorite bands, one of the most underrated bands. But that song, I'll send it to you after, and then I'd love to hear you do a cover of that. But
Sure.
freaking amazing! Your voice is so raspy and real. I know you said it's bad because of practice, but man, it works.
Yeah, it's not usually that raspy actually. I do have a like I can put that kind of grit on, but usually it's a
Yeah.
little bit cleaner. But yeah, I thought I didn't. I when we started this, I thought it was gonna my voice was gonna sound normal, and halfway through, I'm like, oh no.
Wicked. So I got one more question for you both. It's how I end all my shows. But I'll put all your links in the description here. People can go check out your music. Are you guys touring right now, or what's?
Yeah. Well, we have our shows kicks off. The tour kicks off on Saturday at the Underground, the Drake Underground here in Toronto. And then yeah, every weekend for the rest of
Yeah, we're
February.
playing Oshawa, Kingston,
Montreal.
Montreal, Ottawa. But yeah, it's a little tour. It's to promote our album that we released last October.
Perfect. So yeah, fire me all your links. We'll put it all in the description. But my final question to you both, Rylan, I'll ask you first, and then Danny, you can answer. Um, I am my all my shows like this, just a stupid icebreaker question when I have some really serious topics, but a 100-meter pigeon carrying contest. How many pigeons could you fit in your arm and have left in your arm at the end of the 100-meter race?
100 meters, like just pigeons holding like this.
Yeah. Hold them whatever technique you can use. You can use your guitar, it doesn't matter.
I mean, I think they'd probably try to fly away, but I feel like I could hold at least five,
Five.
six.
Okay, that puts you like third from the bottom in 74 episodes, but hey,
I
it's more than Leslie from Global News.
I
guess I
thinking,
could like grab two by the neck and then like this. But
I was thinking you could just pile them all up. You can fit like 15 to 20. You know what I mean?
Oh.
Just fucking holding all of them, but I don't know. They're gonna be falling
I was
out.
trying to be realistic. I was like, they're probably gonna be flying everywhere. I mean, you put them like under your shirt and
I guess you start putting them under your shirt, and you're like
seven. I'll be as humble as I can be with a little extra. Seven, maybe.
So just to let you know, my lowest answer was 0. I had Leslie Horton on from Global News, Calgary, and she has a phobia of pigeons and Canada geese. So
Yeah, I don't like
she wouldn't
these.
even touch a question. She's like,
Remember that
0,
guy?
move on.
Remember the pigeon? We had a photo shoot once, and we were like pulling up to the spot, and there was this window opened up, hundreds of pigeons coming into some guy's apartment, and he's just like feeding all of them, and he was this old man, and they were all
Yeah.
inside his apartment and on like the railing of his like balcony.
Yeah. It was odd. I think we filmed a video of it
Yeah,
on
we were
TikTok.
like-
It might be way down.
It was
on our
like we could
TikTok.
see them all inside his apartment, and he's just like feeding all of them. And he like lived with all the pigeons. It was
Yeah, I'm
crazy.
sure that guy could carry a ton.
That
of
guy could
pigeons.
carry a lot.
Yeah, I need to get him on my show, maybe. I don't know. Him or Mike Tyson. Apparently, Mike Tyson is obsessed with pigeons. He does.
Oh really? Eh?
I had so I could have him on and talk pigeons, and then ask him a question about boxing for the last question. Maybe like
They're actually really smart, and they used to be like way more important. They used to have like carrier pigeons and stuff.
Yeah.
And, they kind of just like got a bad rap because they're kind of dirty and they all populated all these cities. But yeah, my sister thinks they're quite neat actually.
Well, there you go. That's how I test people when they say they've watched all my episodes. I'm like, oh, what was your answer for that last question? They have no idea what the hell I'm talking about. So when you get people saying they've watched your show and be like, oh, how many pigeons could you carry? They're going to be like, what the hell are you talking about?
Yeah. Right? That's
But
funny.
yeah, thanks for coming on with me. You guys are so talented. That was freaking amazing. And everyone watching, check out all the links in the description. Go check these guys out if you're in Ontario or Quebec on their upcoming shows. And keep on rocking and keep on going with the sobriety and the weight loss.
Thanks,
Awesome,
Dave.
man. Thank you so
Appreciate
much,
it.
Dave.
Thanks for having us.
Awesome.